And now to a story here in California getting national attention. A Charles Manson follower is now out of prison. Leslie Van Houten left a Southern California prison today after serving more than 50 years of a life sentence. You may remember America's most famous serial killer, Charles Manson, died of natural causes at a hospital in Bakersfield at 83 years old back in 2017. Manson was notorious for ordering members of his so-called family, including Leslie Van Houten, to commit a string of murders.
You know, it was like all of the hippies were migrating to areas where they felt comfortable with one another.
In several interviews, Van Houten talked openly about drug use and the role it played in her downward spiral.
The main reason for my running away was because of my amount of participation in dropping acid, and I started when I was about 16.
In the late 1960s, Manson formed a sort of commune, and he became obsessed with the Beatles song Helter Skelter. Then in August of 1969, Manson ordered 4 of his followers to go into a home in Beverly Hills and kill everyone inside. 5 people died, including actress Sharon Tate, the wife of director Roman Polanski. Then the next day, Manson took his followers to Leno and Rosemary LaBianca's home in Los Angeles, where they were killed. The LaBianca's blood was smeared on the walls. Leslie Van Houten was just 19 years old when it happened. She later described holding Rosemary LaBianca down with a pillowcase over her head as others stabbed her. Then she says Charles Manson told her to, quote, do something. And she said she picked up a knife and stabbed Rosemary more than a dozen times. The governor's office released a statement saying more than 50 years after the Manson cult committed these brutal offenses, the victims' families still feel the impact, as do all Californians. Governor Newsom reversed Ms. Van Houten's parole grant 3 times since taking office. The governor is disappointed by the Court of Appeals' decision to release Ms. Van Houten, but will not pursue further action as efforts to further appeal are unlikely to succeed. So, what next? Van Houten will now have 3 years maximum parole with a review in the next year. You can read more of our reporting on this disturbing case on our website, abc10.com.